Okay, hi. So we're just going to review some things in Blackboard, and then this way you can actually see my whole Blackboard page. So the first thing when we're in Blackboard, we have our audio, video, and then we have our participants box there. Okay, right now everything's has an X, all our tools. So for the purpose of this, I will go ahead and allow all that, open it all up. And as you can see, I am listed as the moderator for this. So with Blackboard, you use PowerPoint is the program that works with Blackboard. And it's a very basic PowerPoint. Nothing fancy, no transitions, no animations, very old school. So what we're going to do is we're going to upload our slide for the class. So you go to load content, and it brings up a box for you to look through. So I'll go through and find mine. Here it is. And we will open it and then it will upload. Now, while it's uploading, something to remember is in order to load something into Blackboard, all PowerPoints have to be closed on your computer. Nothing in PowerPoint can be open. All right, so here we go. It has popped up. So this is our Page Explorer box, and this allows me, the teacher, to power through and move through the slides as we go. Something to notice right here is the follow box is checked. That means everyone is following me. Where I go, they go. If I unclick that, this means that the students can move themselves through the slides at their own pace. It won't change my view. As you can see, there's a red box now around the slide. That means I can move through, nobody's going to follow me. They have to move it themselves. So typically for a class, I make them follow me. Something to know here, you can add a page or delete a page if you want. But right now, this is just our slide. So I'm going to go through this of how I would use it for my students. So obviously I did area and perimeter. So here I am. Whenever I start a class, I always have a welcome slide to start it off. It allows them to write on the board if they have any questions. They can also chat. They could send it through chat to me if they want. Then it has a to-do list, what they need to have available next to the computer for them, what they need to do. In this case, the bell ringer quiz on the Schoolology. And then when they're done, they need to give me a green check, and that would be over here. When they're done, they would click, yes, I'm done. So the bell ringer for mine, it's a computer generated. I use Schoolology. So here it is. Let's log in. Okay. So my Schoolology, this is lesson 4. So they come in and do the problem of the day. And it's a quiz, so they do the quiz and it automatically scores it. And this is what it looks like. So to keep track of time, as I get started, I would go to Tools and the timer, and it comes up for 5 minutes right away. I'll display it. That means everyone can see it. I hit start, off goes the timer, and off go the kids to complete the bell ringer. Pause that. Get rid of it. The next thing we would do once everyone's done with the bell ringer is we would jump into our standards and objectives. I want them to know the standards, what we're working on, and I want them to know the objectives, what they should be able to do by the end of this lesson. It gives them ownership of what they're doing that day. Essential question, what they should be able to answer at the end of the lesson. So this one is, why is it important to measure perimeter and area? Then I would launch into the lesson. We would begin by reviewing last night's homework. We could do this in real time. I made a Kahoots. quiz so everyone could do this, participate, and then I get all the feedback that comes with the ability of Kahoot. So this is what it will look like as we start. Then after that, I'm going to application share with my media clips. So I can bring that up. So for my students, we use McGraw-Hill. So I'm going to go in as a student, and here we are. So here are all the lesson resources. Now I can push these out and share it with them, but they can come into it, hit play, and then off they go. They're watching the media clips. So we can do that. I can also application share it with them. Application share is this button right here. This is the whiteboard page. Here's application share, and this guy up here is web touring. Application, I would hit application share, and then it brings up everything that I have open. So I would hit Google Chrome, hit share, and then a nice lovely yellow box will come up. Okay, and so everything in the yellow box, I'm not sure if I can make my yellow box any smaller. I can't. So it's outside of the recording. But then I can share whatever I have open. I can share with them in it. If it's being a problem, I could say, you know, go in and watch this clip. Then we could talk about it. What do you think of this clip? Then we're going to hit the explore, which is typically 15 minutes, depending on how long we have. Guided practice. The students actually have the ebook here, so they can go in and see the problems in their book. But what I can do is I can make breakout rooms and have these slides up in the breakout rooms. And to make breakout rooms, you go to Tools, Breakout Rooms, Create Breakout Rooms, and I can say, okay, I want 4 rooms. Right now, I don't want my participants to move, and hit Create. And then over here, you would see my 4 breakout rooms. When I'm ready for the kids to be moved, I can hit Tools again, Breakout Rooms, and then allow participants to move themselves to the breakout rooms. And they can all choose the breakout room. There is an option that I can move the kids myself to the rooms, or I'm the only one in here, so the option isn't coming up, but there's an option to have everybody get moved randomly. So we could do that too. As they're going through their slides in their breakout room, so this also shows the breakout room. Okay, I can copy and paste some of this in, so I just right click, select page, copy to breakout rooms. I want them all copy. So whatever I selected then got put into each of the breakout rooms. In that case, I just had the last slide. But I would have each of the teams put their team number, team 1, you know, team 2, and so forth on each of their slides. Because what I can do then, once everybody is done, I can go through the breakout rooms. You know, maybe I could take slides that have problems 1 and 2 from room 1, and then problems 3 and 4 from room 2. And I can drag those into my main room because these are movable. So I can drag those slides into my main room, and then we can all review together. Now, as we're reviewing together, I would have whatever team did that problem go over how they solved it, and then I would say, class, do you agree with their answer or disagree? If you agree, give me a green check. If you disagree, give us a red X. So that way I can see who agrees with the answer, who doesn't. If there's some red X's, and there shouldn't be red X's, we'll look at that team's slide and see what may have gone awry. If you have multiple choice, you can actually go and change that. So you go to Tools and Polling type, and then you can change the polling option. If I want, I can go through. Right now, everyone's responses is visible to all students. If I unclick it, it's not going to be viewable to the students, only the teacher. I can also lock the responses, which means once they put in the answer, they can't change it. And then I can publish it to the whiteboard. So in this case, it's only me. So 1 out of 1 person put an X. And then they would complete the classwork quiz, which is again in Schoology right here. They would go in and complete it. And so basically they're giving me their answers for the problems. So that way they can get credit, and then I can look and see, do we maybe need to go back and take a little more time to review? So once they have completed the quiz, I want them to send me a chat message down here that says, Mrs. McLaughlin, I am finished. Okay, and then I can record, who's doing it. Now, the kids have the option of sending me a private message if they want, if they have any questions, but they don't want other kids to see they have a question. Then if they have any questions, they can raise their hand, and you see it gives them a number. So if I have multiple students with questions, it numbers them as they raise their hand, and then I could go through an order of who raised their hand before who. And then when they're done, they have to click that off, so their hand goes down. And then the self-check quiz, I have the students do. It looks like this here. And it just has the kids go through and do their quiz. I can give you a look. See here. Here's what it looks like. Small, and then at the end, they hit, once they're done, check their answers. I didn't do anything, so of course they're all wrong. But then it has them put their name, their email address, and then they have to email the results to me. So they would then put in my email address and then send the mail. So I would get everyone's self-check results, which is really neat. And then I can input that into the gradebook manually. That's not a problem. And then before all the students leave, while they're completing that ticket out the door, I have this slide up for them so that they can write down the homework. And this is what their homework would look like in their ebook. And then their Fact Dash program looks like this here. It's also, important to remind the students that typically I outline the whole week under announcements in our LMS. So it has what we're doing in class, the homework that's going to be assigned, any quizzes or tests that are coming up as well is always on the weekly calendar. Some teachers do monthly if they can plan that far out ahead, which is usually nice, so the kids know some things are coming up. So that is what I would do, and this is just my Schoology that I did. So that is how I would incorporate the technology and the Blackboard tools into my online lesson or a synchronous lesson.